to the general public. We're one Saints fan and one Cowboys fan, one fan of who dat and one fan of dat win. We're here to give weekly takes, game recaps, bad betting picks, game previews, and the occasional Seinfeld reference.
This week, we are going to commemorate the birthday of Robin Williams, one of my favorite actors of all time. Brandon, I won't speak for you, but definitely a favorite of mine. And also, so in doing so, I should say, we're going to choose players who also played for our teams and the Denver Broncos. Now, you may be wondering why the Denver Broncos. Well, in 1979, Robin Williams broke the gender barrier by becoming the NFL's first and possibly only male cheerleader for the Broncos. Apologies if
I didn't fact check
missed
that.
any. Yeah. That's definitely not vetted. So apologies there. For our patron saint this week, I'm also going to throw in the added late breaking news this afternoon of the retirement of Honey Badger Tyrann Mathieu.
Oh.
As our patron saint this week is wide receiver Eddie Kennison, who was born in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and attended, like Honey Badger, Louisiana State University. So Kennison was drafted 18th overall, first round of the 1996 NFL draft by the then Rams. He spent his first 3 seasons there. In 1999, he spent his one and only season with the New Orleans Saints before moving on to the Chicago Bears for 1 season in 2000. In 2001, Kennison started with the Broncos, but then moved over to the Chiefs, and Kansas City is where he would eventually spend the majority of his NFL career, lasting 6 full seasons, including that part-time or half, that time in 2001. And then in 2008, Kennison would return to the Rams for 1 final season to finish out his career. All told, Kennison played 13 seasons, never reached double-digit touchdowns, but he did have 2 1,000-yard receiving seasons with the Chiefs in 2004 and 2005. He also tallied 3 punt return touchdowns in his career, all 3 of those coming with the Rams in his first 2 seasons.
In addition to honoring Robin Williams, I am choosing to honor the recently Big 12 shunned Memphis Tigers. That's because
they snubbed you.
They did snub me, and after all that money they offered too. Our patron cowboy this week is none other than OG Ronald Leary. Leary was a Baton Rouge native and attended the University of Memphis, where he started as a tackle before moving to guard during his senior season. Concerns over a degenerative knee condition had led Leary, who was seen as a third-round talent, to go undrafted. The Cowboys swooped in with a $9,000 signing bonus and guaranteed a large chunk of his contract to pull off that signing. He was initially waived and signed to the practice squad before being added to the active roster for the last 2 weeks of 2012. Leary then entered the 2013 campaign, competing for a starting spot, which he won over guard Nate Livings, who would go on to start all 16 games at left guard that season and cemented himself as an above-average starter on the Cowboys line, which was regarded at the time as one of, if not the best, in the NFL. The Cowboys also still get a lot of credit for that offensive line because people still chalk them up as one of the best in the league a lot of times, just based on old reputation. That 2014 offensive line was one of those. Leary was part of that. Leary would go on to spend 4 seasons with the Cowboys. In 2015, he was replaced by another LSU product, Lyle Collins. He tried to force a trade before the 2016 season, but the Cowboys opted to keep him on as a depth piece. But following the 2016 season, Leary signed with the Broncos, where he would spend the last 3 seasons of his career. He finished with 76 starts in 77 career games.
I'm Paul, the Saints fan.
I'm Brandon, the Cowboys fan.
We're your hosts. Izzy, tell them what time it is.
It's go time.
It is go time. Grab your jock if you need one.
Mandelbaum.
All right. A few housekeeping items here. Nice to be back in the saddle here. We took a little break last week. Not a planned break, but
no. I was a little overloaded at work, so We
Gotcha.
stepped away for a week. We had a bit of what we'll call it a work stoppage.
A work style. Okay. Well,
A stoppage, not a stoppage of work, a stoppage because of work.
there you go. There you go. Very, very good. By the way, did you know what is celebrating its second anniversary today is it has been 2 years since Twitter officially changed their name to X.
It feels like way longer than that.
It really does. Whatever you want to call it, you can find us there.
How has it been only 2 years?
I don't know. But you can find us there, whatever you want to call it, Twitter or X. We're at bless_dem_boys. I'm at Paul Elliott _316. Brandon's at Ball from Grace. You can email the show. We're at blessthemboys@gmail.com. That's BLESSDEMBOYZ. We're also at Blue Sky. Still on Blue Sky. Probably need to check what's going on Blue Sky. I
don't know if you should, Paul.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Every time I get on there, somebody's complaining about something.
Is it like the meme? Is it like the GIF of Donald Glover with the pizza boxes where he comes in the room and like everything's on fire?
Basically.
Okay, fair enough. You can stream us. Hopefully, if you're watching us, we're live right now on YouTube. You can check us out here. You can also check us out on Spotify and Apple. We ask that you like, share, subscribe, leave a rating and review. Tell your friends, tell your enemies. With the season winding up or starting up, we're going to get into some divisional previews here in a couple weeks, and hope you the good stuff. Yeah, hope you come along for the ride with us. And we are approaching our 1 year anniversary, I guess, as a podcast here.
That's right.
In a couple months. I don't know what the exact date would be, but we'll figure it out.
I can figure that out.
We can figure that out. We'll get to that.
We'll work on it.
We'll work on it. In the meantime, we here at Bless Them Boys, we can talk about other things. Fish, for instance. Enough about fish.
About other things.
Brandon, what's you aside from your work stoppage, what you been up to recently?
So not this past weekend, but the weekend before, we went up to East Texas to visit my family, and then me and my daughter went to the Texas Shakespeare Festival, and we saw Macbeth there. Really had a good time. It's at the local junior college, and so like the arena is fairly small, and so you automatically just have really good seats no matter where you're sitting. We really enjoyed that, and then afterwards we went out to dinner. My dad was awarded. He works at the Small Business Development Center, and he's being awarded like the highest award you can get. It's like the Texas Star, which is like the highest level of award he can get in the state, and so he won that. So we went out to this one. It's called Rugenbach's Brewery. And so it's like a restaurant / brewery in Marshall, Texas, which is really good. Like he helped get them the funding to kind of open the place as part of his job. It was really good. The food was great. So we had a really good time there. And then over the past week, as I kind of was trying to unwind from all the work I was doing, I did get around to watching some films. Paul, you should be proud of me. I actually have multiple films on the watch list this week. So the first one was LA Confidential. LA Confidential was the first one, which I watched in 3 pieces. After I'd get home from work, I would eat dinner, I would watch 30 to 45 minutes of it. It was longer than I expected it to be.
Yeah, it was longer than I remembered it when I revisited it recently.
It was a good movie, but it was a good early, I guess 1950s LA cop movie, gangsters, mob or gangsters and cops and bad guys. It had a lot of good twists on it. Just based on his kind of reputation and kind of the fact that we had watched The Usual Suspects recently, I kind of expected Kevin Spacey to be the bad guy, and then when he ends up getting getting shot, I mean, spoiler alerts for anybody. Spoiler alerts. When he ends up getting shot, I was like, whoa.
For a 28-year-old movie.
Exactly.
This is it's based on a James Elroy novel.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're into those kind of crime fiction novels.
Yeah, he also wrote the Black Dahlia, which I saw like back when that came out in theaters. Like there was a movie. I don't know if they used his novel as the basis for that movie, but because that's like a very famous murder.
Yeah, it appears they did.
Okay,
based on IMDb. I'm looking at IMDb right now.
Yeah, so I did recognize that. So I knew that, or I knew that movie, but it was solid. I enjoyed it.
The Black Dahlia. Yeah, well, it's based on his novel.
Okay.
He also did the screenplay and story for a movie called Street Kings that stars, I believe this is Keanu Reeves. Yep, Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, Hugh Laurie. People might know him as House.
Oh, okay, yes.
And also Chris Evans, Captain America. I might need to check. I need to check this movie out. Cedric the Entertainer's in this movie. Good Lord.
Dang.
Directed by David Ayer, same gentleman who directed the bad Suicide Squad movie, I believe.
Oh, I saw that one.
No disrespect.
Are you sure? Are you sure you still want to watch it, Paul?
Fair enough. He also directed. David Ayer also directed. For what it's worth, David Ayer also wrote Training Day.
Oh,
which ain't bad.
Better.
No.
Then I also watched. I marked one off my list of movies that I drafted from the top 100 list. I watched There Will Be Blood.
Okay.
So I watched this in 2 parts over this past Saturday. So first of all, Daniel Day-Lewis was awesome, and I didn't remember that he had won Best Actor for that, but I was like, so I thought he had not won, and so I was like, man, he got robbed for this. But I looked it up and saw that he did win for that.
The movie did not win for Best Picture because this was
the picture that beat it was also
No Country
really
for Old
good.
Men. No.
Yeah, so like I could see why. But those were both like really great movies.
It's a hell of a year, 2007. Those hell of a year for movies.
The only thing that like I was kind of like, I think I went in thinking it was something a little different, and so like it was more of kind of a character-driven piece than I expected.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I expected something a little bit more fiery. I think would be like a little bit more. I don't know how to phrase it really, but it's like not like action and shoot 'em up or anything like that, but more just kind of like a
Western, like a
a little bit, like a little bit more of a Western feel than it had. It had more just like of a concentration on his character and kind of how things went. But I thought it was really well done, and the way it was shot was beautiful. And then obviously Daniel Day-Lewis was great, and the ending was like fantastic too. Like because the way it ends is just like brutal.
Man, the last, and I rewatched this recently because I'm on a Paul Thomas Anderson kick, which I'll talk about a little more here in a minute.
Because it's Paul.
Of course. Well, he has a new movie coming out also this year, but I rewatched and I totally forgot how long that ending is. Like from the moment.
When he goes to Eli, like the new house, basically.
Yeah. So from the moment Eli shows up in the bowling alley, like I didn't realize how long that segment is, but it's like 20 minutes.
He makes him draw it out.
Yeah, but it. I mean, it's fantastic.
I'm an oil.
Yeah. If you ever, by the way, if you get a second, look up Bill Hader doing the Daniel Plainview impersonation on Saturday Night Live. It's wonderful.
Okay, I'll have to check that out.
He did a skit. He did a sketch on there called "I Drink Your Milkshake." Yeah, it's
drink your milkshake.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
That's my boy. You see them? Yep, That's my son. You don't want to tell me how. Don't tell me how to raise my family.
It's pretty good, man. It's not gonna lie. You can workshop that. We might have some.
That'll be something. Paul, I've been watching the Cowboys. We're struggling right now. We're having some trouble. You see that? Cowboys.
On the Rewatchables podcast, they did the Blues Brothers. Have you seen the Blues Brothers? We probably have talked about this, but
no, we did talk about it, but
so there's a moment in the Blues Brothers at the end where Dan Aykroyd, when they're doing their last performance, Dan Aykroyd introduces himself, and on the Rewatchables they said, "What if that was Daniel Plainview introducing Blues Brothers?" It's really funny.
Well, maybe that'll be a segment. Is like Brandon Plainview. I'm taking
there you go.
Plainview of the Cowboys.
We'll workshop it, folks. There's another reason to join us this season.
Oh yeah.
What? Anything else you got? You want
to? The one other movie that I watched was this weekend, which was The Prestige, which I thought I had seen, but apparently I had not, because like I went in there and I was like, felt like I had seen it before, but maybe it's just like I saw so many commercials. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it on TV, and I think that like I thought but I was like, oh, I think I'd like not seen the whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a TNT classic. Like it'll pop up on. Yeah,
it's one of those movies that will always show up on.
There was another movie called The Illusionist,
which
Edward Norton came out around the same time. Yeah. But no, The Prestige is wonderful. We talked about it when we did the Nolan.
It's on the list, right?
Yeah,
it's on the top 100.
Ooh, is it?
I thought it was.
Hang on, I can tell you real quick. I'll look it up real quick. But when we did our Nolan draft or rankings or something way back when, this definitely came up because it's a sneaky, because Nolan did this movie in between Batman Begins and Dark Knight. This was kind of that kind of threaded the needle there. But
I meant to actually, when I forgot to put it in the notes, but I was going to say I also watched Batman versus Wolverine, and then when you said what's that, I was going to say the Prestige.
Oh yeah, I was like,
it's Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, no, you're correct. Okay, so The Prestige made the New York Times readers top 100.
Oh, okay.
So not the official list, but it made the readers.
Okay, I remembered seeing it on one of those.
Yeah. And just for yucks, I have it 5 on my Christopher Nolan rankings.
Yeah. The thing is, he's done so many great ones that it's going to be pretty far down the list. So when I was going to watch this on Sunday, my wife was taking the kids to hang out with like one of our like college friends who has kids, and so like I was like, hey, I'm planning to watch this movie. Do you want me to like wait to watch it with you, or so like should I find something else? And she's like, no, you can go ahead. And so she got back from her friend's house, and she was like, I thought you were talking about The Illusionist, which she had already seen, and she's like now, so she wants to watch it. So I may end up rewatching that here in the coming weeks.
Yeah, I'm looking up The Illusionist to see if it's available. It is available on Prime, looks like. Oh, it's a lot of places. Tubi.
I watched it on Hulu. It was on Hulu for me.
The Illusionist or The Prestige?
The Prestige.
Prestige. Yeah. Well, I was talking about The Illusionist. The Illusionist looks like it's available quite a few different places.
It wasn't one of my favorites. It would probably be like pretty far down my Nolan list, just because like I think the thing that I don't like is kind of like the creation of the doubles was not like one of my favorite twists in there.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, I don't know why. It's because I guess it's a little more sci-fi than I kind of wanted. That like the Tesla electric machine is a little weird.
Even by Nolan's,
I do like the twist with Bell though, like where his character is like his brother, and they're like chopping off his fingers and everything. I like that little spin. So that was good. I just didn't like the I kind of like how it's presented in the fact that he's like killing one of them basically every night, even though it's like so you don't know who's like the double versus who's the original. It's just like the sci-fi elephant the sci-fi elephant elephant in the room.
The sci-fi elephant in the room,
yeah. That wasn't my favorite, and so it was. I think I rated it like 3.5 stars on
Letterboxd.
So I added three movies to my Letterboxd this week.
There you go.
Should be proud.
A single tear rolling down my face right now.
All right, Paul. What about yourself?
So our movie watching is we have a little bit of continuity here. So you watched a Nolan film, The Prestige. I watched a Nolan film, rewatched a Nolan film, Dunkirk. It was on Netflix. It's leaving Netflix this month, so I decided I haven't seen it. I've only seen it one time. Very good film.
Dunkirk was one of those that I saw it in theaters when it was out, and then it was like I really liked it, but it's not a movie that I've like. It didn't feel very rewatchable to me. Like a lot of his movies are rewatchable. That one didn't feel like it.
I could see that. I wish I had seen this in theaters. I just wasn't able to. It's good. It's different for Nolan. You know, it's kind of like The Prestige is a little different for him. It's I do like the Nolan spin he puts on it with having one story take place in an hour, one in a day, one in a week. I do like that aspect of it. The performances are really good. Tom Hardy, I think, is.
I love.
It's one of his better.
Tom Hardy is one of his better favorite actors.
Yeah, one of his better outings. So I watched this. So that's one connection. Nolan, you watched a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. I mentioned I'm kind of on a Paul Thomas Anderson kick right now. So I watched
Phantom Thread, which also has Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis, and it kind of a similar vibe to. He's not so Plainview, not the Plainview and Woodcock, who he plays in Phantom Thread. It's not that they're the same character, but they have a lot of the same ambitions. Like they're very, like they're very singular focused on their goals and what they want to accomplish. Like and they're not really Lincoln as well. Yeah. But they're not going to be in the business of letting people stop them from doing what they feel like they need to do. So, I thought it was a very good performance. Also watched The Master. This is Philip Seymour Hoffman and Joaquin Phoenix. So I guess two Joaquin Phoenix movies with Paul Thomas Anderson. The Master, where he plays a Navy veteran who's kind of down on his luck, bit of a drunkard. He meets Philip Seymour Hoffman, who's kind of a leader of a group, I would say, akin to Scientology. They don't call it that. In fact, at one point, somebody uses the term cult, and he doesn't take too kindly to that.
The Indianapolis cult.
Right, in Indianapolis cult. I never thought of it. Would that be a cult that that'd be a cult that worships Peyton Manning, I guess.
I would think so.
Or Pat McAfee, maybe. But yeah, so there's that. Also, a very good performance in The Master from Amy Adams, if you're a fan of her. And then Inherent Vice is Joaquin Phoenix plays this private eye who gets hired. He kind of gets involved in a couple different cases that end up blending together. It's kind of a callback to like the classic detective movies from maybe the 70s. I actually watched I didn't have it on the list here, but I did also watch recently a movie called The Long Goodbye that stars Elliot Gould from the 70s. Yeah. For people who don't know, he played. He was Ross's dad on Friends. If you remember that actor, but that movie was directed by Robert Altman. Robert Altman is a big influence on Paul Thomas Anderson. So this Inherent Vice is kind of a play on that genre. And a great performance too from Josh Brolin in this movie. He and Joaquin Phoenix, very good chemistry with each other. So if you're I'll say I really enjoyed the first hour or so of the movie, and then it got to kind of a point where it kind of fizzled for me a little bit towards the end. So, but I'll still recommend it. And then another Paul Thomas Anderson movie that I saw is into my Criterion Collection challenge, or my Criterion Challenge, I should say. So I watched Punch Drunk Love. This is Adam Sandler. This is kind of his first serious movie that he did, at least that I can remember. This is from like 2002. I really love this movie. I really,
this
really
was also Paul Thomas Anderson too, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Okay.
it ties into both, but it is a Paul Thomas Anderson movie. Philip Seymour Hoffman's in this movie too, and he gives a very good performance as this, I'll say, a villainous character. Adam Sandler plays this kind of socially awkward guy who has 7 sisters, and they all kind of treat him like crap. And he meets this woman who he develops an affection for, but he has an incident, I'll say. I won't go too much into it, but something happens that potentially could threaten that relationship. So, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is kind of the antagonist.
Is he trying to exploit the situation?
Yeah, I'll put it at that. Yeah, Philip Seymour Hoffman is in a position to exploit what Adam Sandler did to his benefit. So anyway. And that was, again, from the Criterion Challenge. It came from great soundtracks, which I will admit, really good soundtrack. One other thing I'll mention about Paul Thomas Anderson. So his first couple of films, like Boogie Nights, Punch Drunk Love, Magnolia, had these really great soundtracks, like popular music. Starting with There Will Be Blood, he works with the composer Johnny Greenwood, and has, I think, since then worked with Johnny Greenwood, even up through Phantom Thread, and his most recent movie, which I haven't seen, that's the last one for me to catch up on, is Licorice Pizza. So I'm going to hopefully watch that next couple weeks.
Wasn't that one not as good, or didn't get as good reviews?
I've heard, I haven't heard as good of things about it. I am looking forward to watching it, just just to complete the set, as it were. But Johnny Greenwood, I believe, is from Radiohead. I think he.
So Johnny Greenwood is basically like Paul Thomas Anderson's Hans Zimmer for Christopher Nolan.
Yeah,
kind of like that.
Kind of, yeah. He's the lead guitarist and the keyboardist for Radiohead.
Oh.
And he's, excuse me, but yeah, he's worked on. With There Will Be Blood. He did the music for Phantom Thread. Pretty sure he did the music for The Master. And I've got to say, really good. Like, one thing consistent throughout all of Paul Thomas Anderson's movies, but especially since There Will Be Blood, the music's been a highlight.
I was going to say that I was going to point out, like, the one of the things I forgot to mention was you notice it in There Will Be Blood is that music is very ominous, the whole time. It's always something's building all the time.
Yeah, and gorgeous visuals, that visual of Plainview and his partner when the oil spill catches on fire, and you just see them through the shadow.
Mm-hmm. That and really the scene at the church where he's having to confess his sins and stuff.
That one makes me
my
laugh.
boy. I abandoned my son.
Give me the blood, Lord. Give me the blood.
Give me the blood. I want the blood.
By the way, shout out to another Paul Dano, who plays the twins in There Will Be Blood. Great performance by him. That was kind of his first big break, I think, and then he eventually became the Riddler in Batman. Also in the Criterion Challenge, I did a couple of the categories I knocked off the list here. Film that would be your first choice in the Criterion Closet. So I kind of treated this as, and I mentioned this when I mentioned doing this challenge, I only wanted to watch movies I had not seen before. So I kind of treated this as like, if I went to Blockbuster, if I treat Criterion Closet as Blockbuster, what movie would catch my eye? And the one that I picked here was Bound from 1996. This is by the Wachowski, sisters now, I guess. But they were Wachowski brothers at the time. Who would eventually go on to do the Matrix movies. This stars Jennifer Tilly and Gina Gershon. It's and Joey Pantoliano, who is kind of a who was in the Matrix. He plays the guy that ends up betraying them in the first Matrix film. But anyway, it's kind of a noir-esque, kind of go back, kind of an old school, noir kind of movie. I really enjoyed it. And then also from the category of John Turturro's Adventures in Moviegoing. So I guess this is John Turturro, the actor who you know from Big Lebowski.
Can I just say that I didn't realize that he was Jesus in Lebowski?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't realize that until I just looked up a picture of him. I was like, "Oh my gosh, you gotta be kidding me!"
And our guy from Severance too. He's our guy from.
That I knew. That one I knew. Yeah. That one I was aware of, but I did not
know
that he was.
I guess he did a list of films, and one of the movies that he had on his list was The Seven Samurai, which is a classic. It's like a 3-hour long black and white movie by Akira Kurosawa. It's one of the most influential films in terms of the kind of team up movie. Like, if you think of like The Magnificent Seven, that Western from years ago, that movie is a direct, I want to say rip off, but I guess homage to this Seven Samurai movie. It's just about these 7 samurais that come together to protect this village from a gang of bandits. Whenever
I think of the Seven Samurai, I always think of The Last Samurai, which I think is with
Tom Cruise.
And so I always get those like confused.
Yeah, I did. So I will say The Seven Samurai did put me in the mood to watch more samurai movies. I do want to watch The Last Samurai at some point. And then for the 1920s, I watched a Charlie Chaplin movie called The Kid. So this is a what do you call it? No, talkie, I guess. Like it's a silent film with like the words on the cue card, in between the scenes. I really liked it, and it's only like not even an hour long. So it's yeah. So basically he plays this. His character's name is the Tramp, and he finds this kid. Kid gets left by his mother, and he adopts the kid and raises him as his own, and kind of goes from there. So I would definitely recommend checking that one out. And then I didn't realize this. So you mentioned knocking some films off of your list of the draft that we did a couple weeks ago. So Punch Drunk Love was on that list. Mm-hmm. So I killed 2 birds with 1 stone there. Another movie that was on that list was The Florida Project, but I didn't watch it for that reason. I watched it because it was Willem Dafoe's birthday, the great Willem Dafoe. And this is a movie that he stars in that I had not seen, so I watched it for that reason. And really good film by the same director of a film that you saw last year, Nora, Sean Baker. This was kind of his first big break. So Dafoe plays a manager of a motel in the the Florida Project, which is kind of like the outlying areas of Disney World,
Okay.
where you have, lower income families.
So like the projects, basically like that
Right.
kind of project.
A project, yeah. And he so the main characters are this young girl named Mooney and her mother named Haley. They live in this motel that Defoe manages. The mom, let's just say she's going through a rough patch. She's living hard times. The daughter, and this is during the summer, so like there's no school, and the daughter's kind of, let's just kind of doing what she wants. So let's just say,
She's got free reign over the whole place.
Yeah, I really recommend checking this one out if you get a chance. Defoe is really good in it. The mother and daughter are really, really good. I will say it is one of the more raw. Now I haven't seen Anora, so I can't compare it. But the way that they filmed this movie is very raw, and it's almost like documentary style. Like it's, but it's. There's one scene in this movie that was like that chilled me to the bone. How raw it was. So
there's some raw stuff going on in Anora, but it's a different kind of raw.
Yeah, fair, yeah. From what I've heard, yeah. I can only go by what I've heard, but yeah. So that would be, I would definitely recommend checking out the Florida Project. I do not have any DoorDash incidents, but I have two incidents, non-DoorDash related, that I just want to bring up.
I got some problems with you people, and you're going to hear problems with you people.
One, this relates to movies. There's a movie I was watching on Amazon Prime. The movie is called Rolling Thunder. My issue is not with the movie. Let me be clear. Rolling Thunder is a movie from the 70s. I think it was 77. It stars William Devane, who you may not know the name, but he was on, I want to say Knots Landing, one of these like nighttime soap opera type shows in the early 90s. Anyway, he plays a Vietnam vet whose wife and kid are murdered by this gang of thugs, basically. And he decides to, and he is injured in the attack, he decides to take his revenge, and his friend, he was a POW too, I should mention that. And his friend, who was also a POW, is played by Tommy Lee Jones. And all I'll say is, the best part of the movie, not to spoil, I'm not going to spoil too much, but the best part of the movie is he goes to Tommy Lee Jones and he says, "Hey, I found these guys who killed my wife and child." And Tommy Lee Jones's response is simply, "I'll get my gear." So that tells you what kind of movie this is, right there.
This is like a Taken. I have a very, very specific set of skills kind of moment.
This is a Webster's Dictionary example of a revenge movie, a revenge film. But my problem was, so I'm watching on Amazon Prime, and if you've used Prime app to watch movies, so I had to pause the movie. So normally when you pause a movie on Amazon Prime, you walk away, you come back, you get the screen, and it says resume film or whatever it says. Well, I paused it, and there was like 2 minutes left in the movie because I had to go take care of something. When I came, yeah, exactly. When I came back, I didn't have resume option. I had rewatch. Watch again. Yeah. So
they thought you were at the credits.
So I click watch, yeah, because I guess that's a fair point. Some of these movies in the 70s, they just basically went all the way up like to the credits, pretty much. It's not like movies nowadays. They're like you have 5 minutes of credits after the movie's over.
Anytime I see the movie's runtime, you're automatically taking off 5 minutes because that's when the credits are.
So anyway, so I had to restart the movie, which included like 2 minutes of commercials at the beginning. And then when I fast forwarded to the end, I passed the commercial break, so I had to get so it was like I ended up having to watch 2 minutes of the movie. I had to watch 5 minutes of commercials.
4 minutes of commercials. You probably should have just skipped it. You probably would have been better off with your time.
Well, no, because that's like when the good part happens. Like that's what they were.
They were just like closing everything out there.
No. They were, but it was in a violent fashion, as it were. And then the other incident, this is not movie related. So last week, it was, I believe, Thursday afternoon. I'm working from home. I'm at the house and go to use the restroom, and I flush the toilet, and there's no pressure. There's no flush, basically. So I'm thinking, okay, that's weird. Then right around that time, my daughter comes downstairs and says, "Hey, I was trying to take a shower upstairs, but there's no water coming out of the faucet." And I'm like, "Well, we paid the bill, so that's
a problem.
So I start running around the house to see if there's a leak anywhere, like if I see any signs of a leak or anything. Luckily, that wasn't the problem. So I call the water company and I explain the situation. I give them my address and I explain the situation. They said, "Oh, yeah, so they were laying down some fiber cable in your area and somebody hit the main line, drilled into the main line, your water line, or the main water line."
That's not going to be good for business.
It's not going to be good for anybody. So, and they tell me, and before I could ask, they said, "We don't have an ETA." I said, "Okay, I understand that, but can you, is it going to be today?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, it'll be today." Well, spoiler alert, it was not today. So my wife gets home, and I had to run to Kroger to get water. So I go and get bottles of water so we can operate a somewhat normal household. But about an hour after I got off the phone with my water company, a guy comes by and puts a little flyer on my door that says we're under a boil water notice. And I'm like, I have to have water to boil. Yeah, I have to have. So we go to bed Thursday night with no water. About 2:00 in the morning, my wife wakes me up because she gets an alert on our camera at the door. Somebody's at our door. They dropped something and left, and it was I guess the company that was responsible for this issue dropping off a big old thing of bottled water. So we appreciate that. That's fine.
You couldn't have done that before you went to Kroger?
Right, exactly. So finally, about 10:00 Friday morning, so almost 24 hours after we got our water back, we were still under a boil water for, I think, the next couple hours, maybe even another day. But we're not now. Everything's back to normal. But the reason I bring this up today, I get a email from our association that says, as of yesterday, West Harris County Mud Number 2, which is our water district, has issued a temporary restraining order against the contractor performing drilling for blank company. I won't mention the company. As of this morning, they are no longer permitted to conduct any drilling in the neighborhood until further notice. You may still see crews in the neighborhood performing cleanup or placing boxes over cable has already been installed, but there should be no additional drilling activity.
Please vacate the premises immediately.
If you notice any current water leaks in front of your home, please report them. Yada yada yada. So we nipped that. Rata. Yeah, we nipped that in the bud. So yeah, man. So actually, another reason I wanted to bring this up. So I was thinking about this. Because, this is not something that happens every day, obviously. Hope not. There, exactly. So if I were to give you the option, you can go 24 hours or any period of time without water, electricity, or Wi-Fi. For those like which of those three are you?
Let me ask you something though. If I don't have Wi-Fi, can I look at my phone on LTE?
Sure.
Or just no internet whatsoever.
No, yeah. Let's make it interesting. Let's make it parties. So you can't look at the internet, but you have power.
So this is where it gets, because there's a big difference between I got no electricity in July and I got no electricity in September and like November.
Well,
because
I would say that, but a couple years ago when that freeze happened and we had no electricity, brother, it was rough because we were without power for like 36 hours during that freeze. And
I think I'd rather just go without the internet for a while.
Yeah.
I can open a book.
If you had asked me before last week, I'd have been like, yeah, 24 hours without water, that's not a big deal. No, bro, it's a deal.
Brother, it's a deal.
It's a deal. Like you need to, you got to have some water, man.
I should also point out, back to your first story before this about your Amazon thing, is what this is slightly less inconvenient, but I watched it on Plex because it was available for free on Plex.
Yeah.
And so I watched like I said, I started out and watched like 30 minutes or so. Well,
what is this? What were you watching?
LA Confidential. LA Confidential.
Oh, okay.
And so I get there and like I turn it, and usually when you get back to something, you pick up where you left off. And so I hit play, and it starts back over at the beginning, and I gotta fast forward through 30 minutes of stuff.
Some of the apps are like that. Now, I think Plex is one where you don't have to have an account, but you can sign up for one in order to for things like
it wasn't that issue for I will say I've been watching like I think it was Tubi to watch Rules of Engagement. Their app is garbage, but
yeah, it's not the best.
It's free and you get what you pay for in that thing.
Yeah, it's not the best. I use there's an app you can use called Just Watch that will tell you. You can look up a movie and it will tell you what streaming service it's available on. Mm-hmm. And you could even set it up to where
just Googling,
or IMDb does it too. Yeah, IMDb has this too. Like, but what I like about Just Watch is you can set up your favorite services. So, like if you have Netflix or HBO Max or Hulu or whatever,
you can set what you have basically.
Exactly, and then it'll tell you like if you look up The Prestige, for example, it'll say, oh, this is available on, whatever.
My favorite function of IMDb. IMDb function is that they have the parental guide, which will tell you where the nudity is.
Well, really? I did not know that. I didn't know that.
If you go to Paul, I just opened up a whole new world for you.
Hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second. I'll be back.
You should see the parental guide for Y Tu Mama Tambien, because it's pretty long.
Well, it's on my list to watch. So I mean, we'll have to do some investigating. But yeah, no, Just Watch. You can use that. Actually, Letterboxd uses Just Watch. So if you go on Letterboxd, it'll also tell you like what services, but they're powered. It says powered by Just Watch. So food for thought for those of you that looking for a way to find. Also, I will say, if you have a YouTube subscribe, like a lot of movies pop up on YouTube for free. Now they have ads, but if you have YouTube Premium, like I do, it's not an issue. So, you can also, I've also done this. If you just say, insert movie name, full movie, every once in a while they'll pop up on archive.org. Yeah. So like some movies that are a little harder to find from a streaming perspective, sometimes they'll end up on archive.org. But I want to keep that on the download because I don't want people to get in trouble for having.
Yeah.
So
we'll edit that part. We'll edit that out of the podcast.
Cut it. Yeah.
Cut that out. We'll edit that in post.
Edit in post, yeah. All right, so let's move on here to anything else non-football related you want to talk about?
I mean, we can get to the non-NFL stuff, like the sports related non-NFL.
Yeah, let's do that.
We can start off with a shout out to Scotty Scheffler, Mr. Longhorn, who has just won the British Open, I believe.
The Open Championship, as it is.
The Open
referred
Championship,
to, yeah.
yes.
Back in the day, it was the British Championship, yeah.
They've changed it now.
Yeah, they changed.
So I think that was his second major of the year. So shout out to him.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's become pretty dominant lately. So shout out to my fellow Longhorn.
Yeah, I was upset. I meant to watch it because so they usually have the Open Championship right around this lull period of sports, like where that's really the only thing going on. So obviously,
golf is kind of a lull period in sports itself.
Well, fair enough, but you had the Major League Baseball game. All that was last week, and then they have the ESPYs on Wednesday, and then Thursday usually is the first round of. And I just forgot. I forgot that it was on. I just forgot to check in on it. But yeah, shout out to Scotty Scheffler for that.
One of the other things I wanted to bring up is Memphis recently was once again rejected by the Big 12.
You mentioned this already, but okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so they offered like $250 million. They said we won't take any money from the conference. Like we will even do without payouts from the conference. And if you don't like us at any time, you can kick us out. And the Big 12 said, no thanks.
Wow.
So
who I mean, no disrespect
who is
to the
Big 12 to be
but,
turning up their noses at
right.
That?
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like who's in the Big 12 right now? Oklahoma State.
They are. Texas State in there, aren't they? No. Texas
well, yeah.
Texas going. They're going to the Pac-12.
Pac-12, right.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't understand. Like what are they like holding their noses at here? That's the little being a little hoity-toity over here. Like they're important.
Speaking of schools moving conferences, I don't have this in the notes, but I just remembered Louisiana Tech is going to the Sun Belt Conference. Or they're going back, I guess.
I was going to say classic Sun Belt.
Because I want to say, I want to say when Karl Malone went to Louisiana Tech, they were in the Sun Belt at that time. I'm pretty sure. And then they left. They moved around a little bit. Now they're going back.
The belt was off, and now the belt's back on.
Belt's back on, yeah. You have something in the notes here about pre-All-Star break baseball. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so our teams faced off for a 3-game series prior to the All-Star break.
Oh, that.
How did that work out for you, Paul?
Not too good for the Astros,
not too good.
As I recall.
The Rangers are on their way back, Paul. They're only 7.5 out right now.
I was gonna say, the Astros are 5 ahead of the Mariners right now.
Yeah, I think the Rangers actually made up another game on the Mariners last night in the wild card chase.
Yeah.
I need the Mariners to lose again tonight. They have just started. No, they're in the 4th.
Astros are actually just a little serendipitous. My wife and I will be attending the Astros game on Saturday.
Who are they playing?
For the Sacramento Athletics. or wherever the hell.
Aren't they just the Athletics? Isn't that?
I think so.
Thing?
I think so. It is Stephen F. Austin night at the alumni night at the Astros game. So my wife and I are both proud SFA alums, so we will be attending.
As are my parents.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Shout out to them.
So that was it for that. But Paul, did you want to let's get into some Saints news?
Sure. Their veterans and rookies reported today. Training camp for the Saints starts tomorrow. So the Saints today had not one, not two, but three retirements. Starting with Jimmy Graham, which is, I guess, not too surprising. He hadn't played in a year. He was busy swimming the Arctic Circle or whatever he was doing last week. So he retired. And then, as I mentioned at the top of the show, the surprise of the day, Tyrann Mathieu hung up his cleats after, I think, 12 seasons in the league. Last couple with the Saints. I did see an interesting stat. Tyrann Mathieu's first career interception came in the Superdome as a Cardinal against Drew Brees, and his last interception came in the Superdome as a Saint against the Falcons, courtesy of Kirk Cousins. So
I thought you were going to say it was against the Cardinals.
No, that would actually have been
full circle.
Serendipitous. Yeah, that would have been really something. And then finally, the third retirement. This one's not as notable, I guess, but tight end Dalen.
You didn't even put it in the notes.
Well, it happened only like an hour or so ago. Dalen Holker, who's a tight end, they signed as an undrafted free agent from Colorado State. This is only like his second year in the league, but he's been bothered by some kind of ankle injury, and I guess he just decided it wasn't worth it, so he retired. You might remember Mr. Holker from the scouting combine last year. He was the guy he was running the gauntlet drill where they run from sideline to sideline and catch passes from each side. When he got to the end, he caught what he thought was his last pass, and as he turned, saw another ball coming towards him, so he caught that ball while holding the one he had just caught, and ended up finishing the drill with two balls in his hand. So,
so he had two balls in his hand.
Two footballs in his hand.
Good night, folks.
Whoa! But yeah, so shout out to all three of those. Mickey Loomis spoke today, as did Kellen Moore, kind of a pre-training camp press conference. Mickey Loomis did mention he fully expects Jimmy Graham to make it into the Ring of Honor at some point. So I don't think he'll make it in the Hall of Fame. Tyrann Mathieu, I feel like he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So hopefully your guy Darren Woodson gets in.
Was he on any? Did he win a Super Bowl? Was he on any
with the
of the
Chiefs?
Super Bowl team? Chiefs.
With the Chiefs, I believe he did. I know he was in the Super Bowl against Tampa because him and Brady got into a little bit of a scuffle.
A kerfuffle
in that a kerfuffle. Let me just check that real quick before I don't want to make a liar. Yeah, he did win one Super Bowl.
Yeah, we don't want to be called fake news over here, Paul.
Yeah, exactly. So he finished his career with three Pro Bowls, 3 All-Pros, and 1 Super Bowl. So, also last week, so I guess to follow up with the Honey Badger retirement, looks like the Saints, this just came down about an hour or so ago. Julian Blackmon from the Indianapolis Colts most recently. Looks like they're going to sign him as a potential replacement for Honey Badger. They also, I should mention, they signed Justin Reed in the offseason, ironically from Kansas City, where they signed Honey Badger from years ago. So Julian Blackmon, his 2023 season was really good. 2024, not so much. somebody.
He's no relation to Justin Blackman, formerly of.
No, I thought about that. I when I went to look up his.
I saw Jay Blackman and I was like, whoa! I thought that guy's been retired.
Right. And he played wide receiver too. So
you're right.
Yeah. So this is from Freaking About Football on Twitter. 2023 Julian Blackman. He gave up 60.9 completion percentage, 331 yards, had 4 interceptions, a 46.6 passer rating when target, and a 4.3% missed tackle. So not too bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 2023. 2024, he had a 69.4% completion percentage given up, 434 yards, 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns, a 103.2 passer rating when targeted, and a 14% missed tackle. So obviously, we want the 2023 version of Mr. Blackman, not the 2024 version. So we'll see what we get. But
rolling the dice.
It also makes sense why the Saints spent a draft pick on Jonas Sanker from Virginia. I think Virginia or Virginia.
Much.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be hopefully it won't be sinking when the season starts.
Hopefully Sanker won't be a stanker.
Yeah, that too. Also, Mickey Loomis in his press conference today mentioned Taysom Hill and Foster Moreau. They're both coming off of knee injuries or leg injuries. They will both start lower body injuries. They'll both start camp on the PUP list, but they can come off of that anytime. And I guess I should mention last week they agreed to terms with Tyler Shuck, fully guaranteed contract. So setting a bit of a precedence there.
Most of the second round picks are now signed, outside of 2 who I'm sure we will get to in a moment.
Yep, I've got that. No, yeah, there's a first round pick not signed, and I believe it was a second round pick. But we'll talk about that in a minute. I'm trying to think if there's anything else Saints related. Yeah, so camp starts tomorrow for them. They did also. Did you see their new gold jerseys that they debuted today?
I saw the Steelers gold ones. Is that what you're?
Yeah. No. The Saints gold jerseys.
No. How do they look?
They look okay, but look, I've talked about this on the show before. Just stick with one jersey. We don't need all these.
We're people who we're kind of like just we're the usual uniforms people.
We're the old men yelling at the
You get one throwback in your usual uniforms, like your home aways, and then that's it. Stop trying to make all this garbage happen. Like the Cardinals with the black helmets, those are the ones that kill me. Like why do the Cardinals need black helmets?
Well, the Saints debut. Well, I don't know his debut, but the Saints
the white.
Well, so with the gold jerseys today, they debuted. They're going to have a black helmet with these gold jerseys, which look okay. But I mean, just keep it simple, guys. Like we don't need all this.
Did you see the Steelers?
Those are bad.
Someone posted, "This is what Hines Ward was wearing when Bane blew up Hines field."
I saw that,
which was like pretty spot on. Like
speaking of Christopher Nolan movies,
yeah, exactly.
How about them Cowboys? What we got on the Cowboy front?
Yesterday, Jerry Jones gave his annual opening press conference, which is like several movies on the New York Times list are didn't see it, don't want to see it. Like,
I heard it. He aired some grievances. It sounded like
he does
a little bit.
He does this every year, and who cares? Like it's to the point. It's like if you're listening to him, you're really just wasting your time because the Micah contract will get done. It's going to be like, and one of the things that Stephen Jones talked about, which I did hear, which I think he actually has a point. It's a lot of times with these deals, like they're always talking about like the Cowboys are waiting to get these done, but like the the person who's incentivized to wait on these deals is the player. So, like, if the player's
Yeah.
agents are doing their jobs, they're going to say, no, we're going to wait until these other players are signed and then we'll get more money, which is basically what's going to happen is, TJ Watt got his, 41 million per year.
Right.
Micah will come in at 4. It'll be 4 years. It'll be 41.5 or 42 million a year. And that'll be.
I mean, the number I heard, Tom Pelissero threw out like 45 a year.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
I mean, I'm just saying. I was listening to Mike Florio.
If he wants 45, he's going to have to give him a 5th year, and ultimately, a lot of this will come down to the guarantees anyway, right?
Yeah, Mike Florio was talking. He said if he was Micah's agent, he would have told Micah, "Don't even go to camp. Just hold out." Because the minute you show up, now the team has the leverage. Because now it's
Micah. Well, for one thing, I can't stand Mike Florio because he
okay. Fair enough.
Yeah. He frequently uses Cowboys stuff to kind of like for clickbait, and so like that's one of the things. And so like Micah's like spoken about wanting to be more of a leader and a presence, and so like part of that is, I mean, he's not. He'll do walkthrough stuff and like, but once pads come on, he'll sit out of that until like the contract's in place or whatever. And so like they're not going to put him in harm's way, and he's not going to put himself in harm's way during this. But that way, he's like at least going through. You're installing a new defensive system, and so you need your defensive leaders, especially like the best player on your defense, to be there. And he's kind of doing what he really needs to do. So I appreciate that. The Cowboys also, apparently Trayvon Diggs did not know that his contract had a clause where he, if injured, he had to work out with the team, or he risks the team can claw back $500,000 of salary. He did not work out with the team while rehabbing his injury. And so the team clawed back $500,000, and he was offended by this, which I guess his agent didn't tell him that was in the contract, because if it's in the contract, what do you expect them to do?
Yikes.
So there was that. So we're off to a great start here.
Yeah.
They did sign Donovan Ezeraku to a 4-year, $10 million, 8.1 guaranteed. So you got most of his money guaranteed, not all of it.
Yeah. So real quick, I totally forgot the Cowboys drafted him. But when I saw that, I was like, oh man, that's a hell of a draft pick. Like that, he's going to be a monster, I think, for you guys.
I'm excited about him and Parsons lining up on opposite ends of the line. Like that'll be fun.
With Osa, with the Odighizuwa in the middle, that's going to be,
Yep. And then the other thing is Trayvon Diggs, Demarion Overshown, and Josh Butler will all start on the PUP list, and Siobhan Revell, the third pick for the Cowboys, will start on the NFI list. Overshown posted that the doctor said that he will be back this year. I think
I saw that.
The date that he is targeting, and I think the date that he's mentioned and the date that I've heard thrown around a lot is Thanksgiving. So hopefully having him for that game against the Chiefs will be
that'd be big.
Fingers crossed for that. That's someone we'd like to see on the field, because he's like pretty easily their best linebacker when he's on the field, because he just like the explosion that he plays with, and the downhill instincts, ability to kind of like miss blocks and like fight off of that has been really good for the Cowboys, and they miss him when he's not on the field.
I forget who I heard this, where I heard this, but someone mentioned the signing, the free agent signing of Jack Sanborn by the Cowboys is kind of a sneaky good signing. A couple reasons. Obviously, Eberflus coming in, new defense coordinator. Sanborn was with them in Chicago. And then obviously with the Overshown injury, until he can come back, Sanborn should be able to – he's not going to be Overshown, but he can at least,
Yeah, you've got
spot.
someone competent who actually is familiar with the defense. And then the other guy that they signed was off of Tennessee, the guy out of Oklahoma.
Murray, Kenneth Murray.
Yeah, Kenneth Murray. He's another one.
Well, they traded for him, right?
I thought maybe they did trade for him. But I think they kind of are hoping that because like Eberflus's reputation is like the linebacker whisperer, and so they're hoping that like with someone like Eberflus to kind of like simplify things, help him like understand his like reading his keys a little, making it a little simpler for him. Maybe that'll help.
Yeah,
because he's like super athletic, but that doesn't always show up on tape because sometimes like he's not good at diagnosing or he gets fooled with misdirection. If Eberflus can kind of like simplify the game for him, he can play faster and some of that athleticism will show up better on tape. I think that's what they're hoping for there. So I think Sanborn and Murray are kind of the guys that they're expecting right now to start the year at linebacker.
Okay. Well, anything else Cowboy related you want to
I think that's it for our teams. I think we can get to the
real quick. I did see a video of Dak throwing to George Pickens.
Yeah,
pretty good.
Looked pretty good. I don't know who was covering on that play.
Well, fair enough, but
so
that's not important.
That's not important. So my only hesitance with that, and this will probably like, I'm sure Pickens is better now than like what Cooks was, but like during training camp, we would see like deep shots down to Cooks, and so like I feel like I'm like trying not to get burned again by this, and so like I'm hopeful that it's like different.
Yeah, but that's this time of year, man. There's going to be videos coming out, and people are going to get excited about this, that, or the other. So
my favorite training camp thing is like the Eagles. People were always talking about how Jalen Hurts was not throwing interceptions in training camp, and like Dak came out and Dak was like, yeah, throw interceptions in training camp because I'm trying to figure out what I can get away with and what I can't. Like, this is a practice time. I'm trying to actually, like, test limits. Mr. Jalen Hurts wants to be Mr. Safe over here. Look at me not throwing interceptions in training camp.
That actually leads me to something we'll transition into other NFL news here, but I did want to bring up a lot of rankings going around. You and I have shared a couple back and forth via text. But I want to share this one with you. I don't know if you had a chance to see this one. Deontay Lee, who works for The Ringer, have you seen his quarterback rankings?
No, I have not.
Okay, good. I'm glad you haven't, because I want to.
Is it more on my side of things, or is it?
I think you're going to be pleased with this. Okay. So here's his top 10.
So Deontay used to do a podcast with Charles McDonald. Was it him? No. Maybe they weren't together. But Deontay used to do a podcast that was really good. And so like I always like he was one of the guys who was like more of the film gurus who I would actually like trust to kind of like give me opinions on things. And so like I've heard of him before, and he's
okay. So here's his top 10. We'll go 10 to 1. So number 10, he has C.J. Stroud from the Texans. Okay. Number 9, he has Jordan Love from the Packers.
Okay.
Number 8, Jaden Daniels.
Okay.
Okay. Number 7, Dakota Prescott.
Okay.
Number 6, Matthew Stafford.
Okay.
Number 5, Justin Herbert. 4, Joe Burrow. 3, Patrick Mahomes. 2, Josh Allen. 1, Lamar Jackson. So, 2 things I think in your favor. He has Dak ahead of Jaden Daniels, and he didn't have Jalen Hurts anywhere on the list.
Yep. Which I
thought you might.
I'm very
like that.
Pleasantly surprised with that. So my issue with Jaden Daniels is it felt like so much of his like production last year was off of just like scrambling out of the pocket, and like how much is that going to be persistent year over year if defensive coordinators are kind of planning for that a little better now.
Yeah, I mean, you would think. I mean, we've talked about it on the show, and we'll probably talk about it more when we get to our division preview. I mean, they just seem like a prime candidate for regression. Him specifically, and then also the team, just the Commanders in general.
They still haven't gotten Terry McLaurin locked down.
Right. Well, yeah. That's one of the situations we can talk about.
Maybe
Terry McLaurin.
Are you going to go into the season with Deebo Samuel as your leading receiver in the year of our Lord 2025? Is that your plan?
I don't know, man. I don't know, Jim. But yeah, so that's one issue as training camp opens. Terry McLaurin not with the Washington Commanders, and then also Trey Hendrickson holding out. He's in Florida. He and his wife packed up and they went to Florida. He's going to continue to work out in Florida, but he doesn't want to be a distraction in Bengals camp. So
I'm sure he won't be a distraction as everyone continually asks questions about what are you hearing from Trey Hendrickson.
Also, if you thought Jerry Jones's training camp press conference was something, Mike Brown, the owner for the Bengals, he had a doozy as well.
Thank God for Mike Brown because he makes Jerry Jones slightly better.
So this Shamar Stewart thing, I mean, we've talked about it. So you referenced this earlier. Of all the draft picks from this past April, only 2 are not signed. Two total. Mm-hmm. Shamar Stewart is one. The other one is Quinshon Judkins, from the Browns, and he's got his own problems with legal
signing
troubles.
His contract is going to be the least of his worries, it appears.
Right. Yeah, he might be signing some other paperwork here pretty soon.
He will not be getting guaranteed money.
No, I don't think so. But the Shamar Stewart thing, again, I was listening to your favorite, Mike Florio. He was talking. Apparently, the Bengals have had this kind of default language in their contracts, and they had it in the T. Higgins contract, the Jamar Chase contract, Amarius Mims, who was their first-round pick last year, had this. But apparently when they went to sign Shamar Stewart, they wanted to remove this language. And I guess Shamar Stewart caught it and was like, hey, wait a minute. What's going on here? And that was part of the issue.
Then he had some language for this.
Yeah. Yeah, he had some language. And now he apparently is prepared to just go back to A&M, which I didn't even know that was an option at this point.
Can you do that? Is that legal?
I read somewhere.
I guess in NIL days it doesn't matter anymore, right?
Right, because it used to be in the old days, if once you signed with an agent, you were done.
Right.
You couldn't, that was it.
Now you got an agent to get your NIL money, so you.
Yeah, I mean, look, Stewart is going to hold firm, and we'll see what happens. This is kind of interesting to keep an eye on.
My favorite quote of his was he said they're more interested in winning arguments than winning games.
Yeah, we talked about that on the show when he said that, I think a couple months ago. Yeah, definitely an interesting something interesting to keep an eye on. I'm really interested to see if he does decide, because this is kind of a landmark. I don't want to overstate it. I don't want to prop it up too much, but a first round pick who just says, you know what, man, I'm good. I'll go back to college. I got some eligibility left. I'll go back and, we'll go from there. And this is, again, you mentioned NIL. This wouldn't happen in the old days. In the old days, there's nothing to fall back on. Now these college kids have this NIL money to fall back on, and yeah, they're not afraid to tell NFL teams.
Don't care.
Yeah, they don't care, man. Like, I mean, yes, there is, part of it is, yeah, it's the dream to play in the NFL and all this stuff, and yada, yada, yada. But like, for some folks like Shamar Stewart, who, he doesn't know if he's going to have a second contract in the NFL at this point. I mean, there's no guarantee of that, even though he was a first-round pick. But yeah, the Bengals, they're an interesting team to keep an eye on here for these two reasons, for sure. Anything else NFL news we want to talk about? I'm just looking to see if there's any late breaking news while we're live here.
So. I think I'm good.
Oh, I did want to, before we move on to our next segment here. Do you know that yesterday marked the anniversary of a famous trade, Major League Baseball trade, that would inspire one of our favorite Seinfeld moments?
Keith Hernandez?
No.
Oh, no. Jay Buhner.
What the hell you trade Jay Buhner for?
What the hell did you trade Jay Buhner for?
Yeah, it was yesterday was the, I believe, 38th. No, yeah, 37th. It was 88. So whatever, 88, 37. I think it's 37.
37, yeah.
Yeah. So that it was the anniversary of the Yankees trading Jay Buhner for Ken Phelps, because Georgia's baseball people told him Ken Phelps bat. Ken Phelps bat. So shout out to Jay Buhner, a shout out to Frank Costanza, Jerry Stiller. Shout out to George Steinbrenner, too, for giving us that piece of material, or for giving the Seinfeld writer a piece of material, I should say. But as I tweeted, or not tweeted, but I sent you this link because Rich Eisen talked about it on his show. Somebody brought it up.
You said that he's also still hasn't gotten over the Jay Buhner trade.
Right. Well, it was a caller called in and was like, "Hey, just wanted to wish you a happy anniversary on the Jay Buhner trade." And so he went into they played the clip of, but as he pointed out, the best part of that scene is Steinbrenner's there because they think George is dead. George Costanza's dead.
Because of the car.
Because of the car and all this stuff. And he's consoling, and you could just see Frank on the couch stewing, and you think he's upset because he's being told that his son has died. And he just
uniform.
It's perfect. And then, of course, fast forward to the finale episode when Steinbrenner's on the stand, and Frank, again, in this inopportune moment, rises up and says, "How could you pay $12 million to Hideki Arabu?" So, God, man. Great times for the
Jerry Stiller, who also has a connection to one of our new favorite shows, Severance.
Severance, of course.
Father of Ben.
His son Ben. Yeah, it's a great Family Guy joke. I probably said it before. There was a Family Guy joke where like Ben Stiller shows up, and Peter's like, "It's like, go to hell, you mutant offspring of comedy people." Because I forget who Ben's mother is, but she was also a comedian in her day. Anyway, all right, so let's move on here. Now, Brandon, I don't know if you're aware, but here in Houston today we hit 100 on the thermometer over at the airport, I believe. I saw, or maybe it was yesterday. But we're inside. I'm under a vent, and I think I feel a draft.
I think I feel a draft. I feel a draft. Let's get a booth. Or let's change tables. Get out of here.
What do you mean?
We got a booth.
We got a booth. So for today's draft, as we mentioned earlier, we're gonna commemorate the birthday. What would have been, I believe, the 70th or 71st birthday for Mr. Robin Williams. would have been yesterday. I also will give a shout out to tomorrow as we're recording this. Tomorrow would have been the birthday of Philip Seymour Hoffman, who was another wonderful actor. I mentioned watching The Master earlier. Two actors taken before their time. So we're going to be
Robin Williams would have been 74.
74. Okay,
yes.
My apologies. So we are going to be drafting Robin Williams movies. Now, Brandon, I didn't run this past you, but I'm going to ask you here on the show. Can we include his stand-up specials as well?
I think so. I mean,
are you okay if we?
I'm not going to draft any of those.
Okay.
Just so you know,
I might.
Spoiler alert.
So,
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. But first, before we get to the draft, let's fire up the old Immaculate Grid. Let's see what we got going here. And we will be playing today's grid, which is number. Well, hang on. Where am I at? Get out of here. Come on. Having some technical difficulties on my end here. There we go. Previous grids. 734. Is that what you have, Brandon? 734?
734. That is correct.
All right. So are we going to do low score wins, or are we doing?
Yeah, let's just play the regular way for this time.
Regular low score. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm going to do something different this time for our. Instead of flipping a coin, I'm at random.org. I'm going to randomly generate a number between 1 and 100. You choose whether it's going to be odd or even.
Okay. Well, before we get to that, let me tell the fine folks our rows for this Immaculate Grid are the Los Angeles Rams, the Denver Broncos, and the Green Bay Packers. And our columns are the Houston Texans, the New York Football Giants, and the category of Hall of Fame. So we're going to be, which is appropriate. We got the Hall of Fame ceremony coming up next weekend. Hall of Fame game 1 week from this Thursday. All right, so you're going to pick a number between 1 and 100. I have to tell you whether it's odd or even.
Yes.
Okay. Am I ready to guess here?
Go ahead and guess.
I will go even.
Generate. Number's 40. You are correct, sir.
All right. There's a feather in my cap. All right, so I will kick us off here. And we are going, again, we're doing low score here. Low score wins. I'm going to start bottom right corner. Green Bay Packers, Hall of Fame. I'm going to go with a recent inductee, Steve McMichael. 0.2%. Feel like that's a pretty good start. Of course, Steve McMichael made his bones as a Bear. Shout out to Andy, the Bears fan. But he did play for the Packers for a brief time. So, What you got there, Brandon?
I'm going to go. I don't know. All right, I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go with the man who the field is named after. I'm gonna go Curly Lambeau.
There we go.
Oh, it doesn't work. Oh, he had to be inducted as a player. That's right. I forgot about that.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Okay.
Was he inducted as a coach or as
he must have been, yeah, he must have been inducted as a coach. I forgot about that rule. That's because one time I tried to use Tom Landry was inducted into the Hall of Fame as a coach for the Cowboys, but I tried to use him as Hall of Fame player for the Giants, and it didn't work.
And now that you mentioned this, I talked about this with the fellas from Sports Reference, Adam and when we had them on to talk about the Immaculate Grid, and I remember I think he brought up Tom Landry as the example of you can, or was it Tom Landry? Wait. But he brought up an example of what you're talking about. Like,
yeah.
it has to be, yeah.
Okay.
I can't remember the name you used.
I'm going to use the guy that just got inducted. I'm going to use Sterling Sharp. Okay, 5%.
So, okay, I was going to say, can we use him? Because he hasn't technically been inducted yet. His induction is next weekend, but I guess
since he got voted in, it's confirmed.
Got voted in.
Yeah, so it worked, thankfully.
Okay.
All right, you take.
So yes, I guess Eric Allen, Jared Allen, Antonio Gates, and Sterling Sharp are eligible as Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Even though, all right, so I take that one. Your turn. You get to pick a square here.
Okay, let's go. Giant middle square.
Okay.
Giants, Broncos.
Gotcha.
We're gonna go Run DRC. Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie.
Okay.
Ooh, 3%.
3%. All right. I think I got one.
There's another guy that I think.
Okay, so the guy I was thinking of.
Oh no, never mind. He didn't play for the Giants.
Okay, so there was a guy I was thinking of, but he didn't meet the criteria. But I'm going to use an oldie but a goodie for me. I'm going to use Mr. Brandon Stokely.
Wide receiver.
2% for Mr. Stokely.
Oh man, you beat me by 1%. That's not as bad as I thought it'd be.
I actually thought Brandon, his number would be a little lower, but Brandon Stokely caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl as a Raven from Trent Dilfer,
2000
against the Giants. So ironical. Okay, so that's 2 for me. Moving along here. I guess let's go. Let's knock Broncos Hall of Fame out here.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with this guy who got inducted. I want to say it was last year. Is it Gradisher? Is it Randy? I apologize if I mispronounced the name, but it's Randy. He's a linebacker, Randy Gradishar. He was a part of the Orange Crush. Yeah. 2% for Mr. Randy Gradishar. So I'm going, obviously, Broncos Hall of Fame there.
Okay, I'm going to try this. I don't think it'll work. Well,
okay.
It'll work, but I don't think it'll score low enough. I'm going to go DeMarcus Ware.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
3%.
Oh, you get that one.
What was yours?
Oh, no, mine 2%. Sorry, I thought mine was 5.
No, you're ahead 3-0 here. I'm not doing too well here. Oh, it's my turn now to pick a square.
Yeah, you pick a square here.
Let's see. Oh, let's go Rams Hall of Fame.
Okay.
I'm going to go Aeneas Williams.
Oh.
0.4%.
Native 0.4?
Yep.
A native New Orleanian, Aeneas Williams.
Named after the man who, per Virgil's Aeneid, founded the city of Rome. Or
That's a fun fact.
Yeah, there you go.
I might I'm considering just giving you this one, but I don't know, man. All these what the hell? I know this is going to be well, no, I'm going to go Orlando Pace. 3%. That wasn't as bad as I thought.
Really? I thought Orlando Pace would have been like double digits.
Well, because you got to think, there's Kurt Warner, there's Isaac Bruce, there's Marshall Faulk. So
yeah, I guess so.
But you still get that one, I think, right?
I do. Fine.
All right,
on the board.
On the board there. Good for you. There's a feather in your cap.
There's a feather in my cap.
Let's go. We'll stay with the Rams, but we'll do Rams, Giants, and wait, is it Rams, Giants? Is that the?
Yeah, Rams, Giants.
Let me make sure I got the right. I got the one. Okay. Rams, Giants, and the guy I thought we could use for. I don't think I can use him for this one either. Damn. There's a certain player to remind me to. I know who I could use for this, and I'm going to use him. Oldie but a goodie. Our good buddy Ray Armstrong. 0.1%.
Okay, I don't think this is going to hit it. We're going to go Tommy Maddox. Super Bowl champion, Tommy Maddox. Super Bowl and XFL champion.
I was say XFL champion, Tommy Maddox.
0.6%.
Okay, well.
Pretty good.
Okay, so what is it now? The 4-1?
4-1. I'm going to go.
I could lock it up here if I get this.
Good. Okay, there's two guys I know here. I'm trying to decide which one.
Which square are you doing?
Number one, Texans, Rams.
Rams. Okay.
Okay. I am going to go with Houston Texans legend, Connor Barwin.
Ooh, that's a good one.
0.7%.
So we could use patron Saint Cowboy and current Saint Brandon Cooks.
True.
But I'm going to go with Super Bowl winning. I'm pretty sure you got a ring, but Tony Banks. 1% for Mr. Banks. The quarterback that Trent Dilfer replaced as the quarterback of the Ravens.
The quarterback that got cut before making room for Quincy Carter. Tony Romo.
Oh, really?
2003.
I didn't know that. Did not know that. All right.
All right. You're 42. That was my square.
Right.
Your call.
You're going to start your comeback here.
Yep.
Let's finish out the Giants. Let's put the Giants out of their misery. Finish out their column. So we'll go Packers, Giants. Well, yeah, I think this is going to be a big score here. Let's see. Yeah, I feel like this will be a big. All right, so I'm gonna go with a current Saint, former Saint, and current Saint, Isaac Yiadom. 0.4%.
Okay, I'm going to go with the former Cowboy.
All right.
Jalen Smith. Oh, 2%.
Notre Dame's Jalen Smith?
Notre Dame's Jalen Smith.
Did he play for the Saints or did he?
No, he never played.
Practice squad?
Qualified. Yeah, he signed. And
okay.
Yeah, he never made it to the active roster, made a game appearance.
He's like a Dez Bryant. Well, Dez Bryant tore his Achilles first practice with the Saints. So
that's cursed franchise.
That was what a time to be alive, man. My God. I remember people were so excited about Dez because this is still when Breeze was the quarterback. So it's like, man, we got Dez now I think Michael Thomas was still on the team. And literally his first practice with the team, he tears his Achilles, and that's it. We never see him again. Shout out to Des Bryant. I hope he's doing well.
Raven legend. Baltimore Ravens legend.
Baltimore Raven legend. Is it to you? Is it your turn to pick?
Oh yeah, it is. Okay, let's go bottom left. We'll go Texans Packers.
All right.
Corey Bradford.
Okay.
1%.
Corey Bradford, 1%.
There's one other guy that I always use here, but I think he's gotten up to like 3 or 4% lately.
Oh, because you've been using them, probably.
Probably. Everybody else learned. Everybody else figured it out.
I'm going to go with this is probably a little bit more obvious one. Yeah. Yeah, because Randall Cobb would be way too obvious.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Okay. All right, then I won't do Randall Cobb.
Cowboy legend.
Cowboy legend, Randall Cobb. Oh, let's do, Amon Green. Do Amon Green. Still probably pretty obvious.
That
but
seemed like a pretty big one, too.
Yeah, 21%.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
That's a big one.
Let me see what Randall Cobb is real quick. Just curious. 58%, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got to be the.
Okay. Last
but not least, I get to go first.
You do.
All right. Texans, Broncos. I mean, the big one would be Osweiler, I would imagine.
He was a big one. He was very tall.
Yeah, he was tall. Oh, okay. I know what I'm going to do here. Another LSU legend, Trendon Holiday. And I got 0.5% for Mr. Holiday.
Okay, I'm going to go Bradley Roby.
Oh, Saints legend, Bradley Roby.
That's correct. 1%.
All right. So what's the final tally there?
6-3.
Okay.
These
my
were
overall
really close though, but my final score was 17 here.
So see, mine was 29 because of
the
Mr. Amon Green.
Yeah.
Amon Green, I remember he was the first running back. Him and Dorsey Levens were like the two running backs for the Packers remember.
You could have used him for Giants Packers.
Yeah, I almost did, but I felt like he was going to be that score was going to be too high. By the way, Isaac Yadam, who I used for Giants Packers, it's kind of a cheat code. He's played for.
Is he a Jason Baven type character?
He's getting to be. Yeah, he's going to be Ish Smith.
How do you spell this name?
So Isaac is ISAAC. Yadam is YIADOM.
Yadam. Whoa.
Yeah.
This dude's racking up the teams over here.
And he's back with the Saints this year. They signed him to a 3-year deal, I want to say. For the record, top scorers for Rams, Texans, Saints, Cowboys legend Brandon Cooks, Rams, Giants, Odell Beckham, no surprise there. Rams Hall of Fame, Kurt Warner, with a K, not a C. Broncos, Texans, Mr. Osweiler, the top scorer there. Broncos, Giants, top scorer is. Did you see it? Did you see who it was? Drew Lock. Didn't see that coming. I would have thought Peyton.
Lock.
Is it Peyton Hillis? Is Peyton Hillis?
I think so.
Giants, okay. Broncos Hall of Fame, John Elway. No surprise there. Packers.
I guess number 2 would have been Peyton Manning then.
Probably, I would imagine. Packers, Texans, Randall Cobb. We mentioned him. Packers, Giants, Xavier McKinney. And then Packers Hall of Fame.
Brett Favre.
When he's not defrauding Mississippi residents of welfare money, Brett Favre. Yeah, Brett Favre's had kind of an interesting post-NFL career, post-NFL life.
I would say he had a very interesting post Packers.
Post Packers, yeah. Post Packers.
Because things went pretty far. Started going downhill once he got to the Jets.
I mean, he had a good run with the Vikings until they got to the Superdome for that.
Yeah, that worked out well.
Yeah, for everybody involved, right?
Mm-hmm. A good time.
All right,
was had by all.
Good time was had by all. Not by me. I lost a couple of years off my life there for that game. Okay. So we are drafting. If I haven't made that clear yet, we are drafting movies and stand-up specials of Mr. Robin Williams, the late great Robin Williams.
Are we saying we can also take TV shows he was on?
Sure, why not? Why not? I'll allow it. I probably won't be drafted. We're gonna do 4 apiece, right?
Yes.
Snake fashion. So I'll kick us off here. I will actually kick us off with a movie that I watched in honor of Robin Williams this week, in honor of his birthday. I hadn't seen it in some time, and that is Dead Poets Society. So I'll make that my number 1 pick here. Wonderful film. He plays John Keating, English teacher at all boys school or reform school, whatever. Captain, my captain. Some great.
So
lines.
One of my friends trains quarter horses.
Okay.
Or for barrel racing.
Uh-huh.
And so she had, she's getting a horse, and because of the rules that you have to comply with when you name a horse, like she said, it has to be within this many letters, and it has to have the word captain in it. And so the name I came up with was "Oh Captain, My Captain."
Captain, my captain. I mean, I forgot how good the movie was. I hadn't seen it in a while, like I said.
Carpe diem.
Wonderful. Carpe diem. Seize the day. Yeah, it's just a really
the scene I remember most in that movie was when they went to meet, and he had that centerfold to unfold. And so, because we were watching this in 8th grade, and my English teacher forgot that this happened, and she was running up to the screen, no, to try to cover up the TV.
Cover your eyes, kids.
Yep. So that's what will always stick with me from Dead Poet Society.
All right, buddy. You got 2 picks here.
All right, I'm gonna take the two picks that are. There's 3 movies here that I love and absolutely want. I'm gonna get 2 of them here. So the first one is an animated movie, one of my favorite Disney movies growing up. It was Aladdin.
Yep.
10,000 years will give you such a crick in the neck.
Was this your first exposure to Robin Williams?
I think it was, although
probably. Huh?
Yeah, I don't think
had to be. I mean,
anything else.
For me, it definitely was. I didn't know of this. I'm almost positive
because that came out in 92.
Yeah, 92.
He was in Ferngully, which I also saw, but I don't think I saw it.
I don't remember that.
You didn't? No. You never saw Ferngully: The Last Rainforest?
Well, I think I've seen it. I just don't remember Robin Williams.
Yeah, he's not. His character in that is not as the genie is
prominent.
Very, very big personality. Like him. So I'm going to take Aladdin first, and then the second one I'm going to take is another one of my favorite movies growing up that we actually introduced the kids to recently, and that is Jumanji.
Oh yeah, great That was a good one.
Great. That was one of the movies where like it was one of the first where I really remember like certain CGI stuff and like it was you could look at certain like the monkeys and the lion were the big CGI things that I remember, and you could see parts of it, but it was like, oh, this is kind of actually like seems realistic for the time. It actually like isn't like some of the CGI stuff when you go back and watch it, you're like, this looks incredibly fake. That I thought it still holds up fairly well. The monkeys' faces were a little off in I think it was the lions and the eyes. Like if you look at that part, it's like, okay, I can see the computer generatedness of it, but for the most part, it was really well done. You know, they like a few, I guess it's probably several years back, they came out with another movie. It was like so you were watching, it's like from the creator of Jumanji, and then you're like watching, it's like, oh, it's Jumanji in space.
Oh gosh.
It's like okay, he's got one. This guy has one move.
This guy, he stole my move.
So what if they play a board game and then it takes him to space?
Right.
Okay. Oh, so you mean it's Jumanji but in space?
Jumanji in space. We introduced this to our kids, I want to say last year, and my daughters enjoy it. It was never one of my films, you know, like it was never like, I mean, I didn't hate it or anything, but it was never one of my, and probably by that time I had discovered Robin Williams stand up, and I was more obsessed with that than, you know what I mean? So
we did get a really great meme out of that movie too.
Oh yeah.
What year is it?
What year? I think I used that after week 2 of the NFL season last year with the Saints. It was like, what? Saints are scoring 40 points a game. They're 2-0. What year is it?
So I'm looking at the Jumanji in space movie is called Zathura. I said it was a few years back. It was 2005.
Wow, that is it's a few. I mean, but depending on your definition of a few, it's a few decades.
Yeah, it's a score if you're Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Kristen Stewart and Dax Shepard were in this movie.
Ooh.
Tim Robbins.
Star power, man. Star power in that one.
There we go.
So that's what Tim 2005 is the same year Tim Robbins did War of the Worlds too, I believe.
Oh, he was just into space stuff at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, Paul, it's back to you for 2 picks.
Okay, so one of these I was hoping you wouldn't pick, and you didn't. So I got to take it as Good Will Hunting.
Okay.
He obviously won his only Oscar for this. Wait, did he win the Oscar? Yeah, he did win the Oscar. I'm pretty sure. I revisited this within the last couple of months. Still holds up. I mean, it's his best. It's him at his best, dramatically speaking.
This was one of those movies where I went in with expectations so high that I could only be disappointed. That was was the problem for this for me.
Yeah, no, I get it. Yeah, and I also, the first time I saw it was fairly close to when it was released. Like I didn't see it in theaters or anything, but I saw it not too long after it came out on video or DVD or whatever it was at that point. Yeah, just a wonderful movie. So I asked if we could pick stand-up special, so I feel like I have to pick a stand-up special, but I won't do it. I won't do it here. What I am going to pick is Mrs. Doubtfire.
Great movie. That was one of the 3 that I was like talking about. Was the
I'll save the stand-up special for last, but yeah, Mrs. Doubtfire. Because he does Aladdin in 92 and then he does Doubtfire in 93. So like back to back, just powerhouse performances from him. Sally Field's good in the movie too, as his ex-wife. Pierce Brosnan plays a pretty good guy you want to hate, as well. If you haven't seen Mrs. Doubtfire, folks, check it out. It's worth the. It's got a young Joey Lawrence in there as the son. Excuse me. It's good stuff. Good stuff. All right, you got what? 2 picks left
here.
Just 2 picks up.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take another. I'm going all kids movies here.
Okay, go ahead.
A movie that was made the same year as Good Will Hunting, so him showing off his acting range this year.
All right,
I'm gonna go with Flubber.
Oh gosh.
I can't tell you how many this was one of those movies that you know when the teacher's wheeling in the big TV on the cart.
Yep.
In elementary and middle school. This is one of the movies that we watched that was shown on those quite a bit.
So you're either seeing centerfolds from Dead Poets Society or Flubber.
Exactly, or Flubber. This one did not have any centerfolds.
No, so I think the most I've seen of Flubber is in the waiting room at like my kid's pediatrician's office. Like, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I love this movie growing up. So that's another one. And I asked if we could take a TV show.
Okay.
This was not a show that he was on all the time. But
Okay.
It was a show that he was a guest on pretty frequently, and a great show that I actually watched a little bit of recently. I'm going to take Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Yep. I knew it when you said that.
We watched this show all the time back, when growing up, because especially Colin, Ryan, and Wayne were all there was always the fourth guy. There was Chip. Robin Williams would come on. There were some female comedians who I didn't really remember.
Yep. I can vividly remember because it was on Tuesday nights after Drew Carey's show.
Mm-hmm. And
I can vividly remember my mom and I would watch it, and I can vividly remember the episode ended and it said, "This week on a special Whose Line Is It Anyway?" And Robin Williams pops up on the screen. It's like, okay, we gotta.
We're watching this.
Hold the prep. Like cancel all the appointments. Like we got we got to see this. And it did not disappoint. I'll every once in a while. That's a YouTube rabbit hole. I'll go down. It's like the.
I was watching one of their. Robin Williams wasn't on this one, but he was on some of them. But I was watching a compilation of all the hoedowns that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one where it was family reunions, and Ryan was the last guy, and so he was he ended with, "I want to see my family, but don't you know I can't. We are from the South, and my sister is my aunt."
You're right. I remember that.
That show was so good, man. They were hilarious.
Quick sidebar on that. So when I was in high school, the summer before my senior year of high school, I went to a music camp at Northwestern State, which is where I would end up going to college. And one of the guys at the camp had perfect pitch. So he could just hear, and he could play piano, and he knew how to play the hoedown, the piano riff.
Oh, really?
So we would sit, and there was a piano in the lobby of the dorm that we were staying at. So we stayed up one night, and he would just bum 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 bum, and we would just pick a topic, pick a whatever, and so that was fun times.
The one more thing that I still use from that show regularly is they were doing a scene in the Alamo, and it was Colin and Ryan, and Colin goes, "Here, have some pie. Oh, remember the Alamode." And so anytime he did ice cream, I was like, "Oh, remember the Alamode." Anytime. Great show.
All right. So before I make my last, I'm going to make my last pick, but I do want to mention. Well, actually, let me make my last pick, and then I'll do this in honorable mentions. So my last pick, like I said, I asked if we could pick stand-up specials. I'd be remiss if I did not pick Robin Williams live on Broadway from 2002. Yeah, this is summer 2002. So I started college in the fall of 2002. There's a guy who lived on the same floor that I did who had taped this special off of HBO and had the VA. This is back when you could tape it on VHS, boys and girls.
You said that you record it.
You record it, and we wore that thing out, man. I would watch because I didn't have HBO at the house, and we watched that. I watched it like all the time, and then when it finally came out on DVD, I just bought the DVD, but they cut things out on the DVD that was on the live, like not a lot, but like.
Was it like offensive or?
No, I don't even remember what, but I could tell because I had the thing almost memorized.
Yeah, you've seen it so many times. You're like, whoa.
You've seen it so many times, and I watched it on DVD. And it's like, wait a minute, they had a spot there where he did this, and I remember the best thing about that special was he came up on stage, and if you look behind him, they had a table set up behind him, and he had to have like 20 water bottles on this table, like an obscene amount of water, because the guy would sweat for like no reason. I mean, he was. This is if you ever see this special, if you've seen this special, this is where he has this great bit about golf, about the invention of golf, which I won't repeat because it gets a little surly. But
he was a little. He kind of had a potty mouth.
He was blue.
Yeah,
he would work blue for sure. This was also the summer after 9/11, so he had like. And by the way, he's doing the special in New York, so like keep that in mind. Yeah. I think you could still catch it on HBO Max. I need to actually check. I haven't watched it in a while, but it was definitely it's a wonderful special. I would highly recommend. And then I remember at the end, he's doing this bit, which I won't mention what it is because again it gets a little risky, and I remember he just kind of stopped. He raised his hands up and he's like, "Good night," and he's exhausted. You could tell he's exhausted. And there was just a wonderful performance. But I do want to mention. So you mentioned Whose Line Is It Anyway? One of my favorite Robin Williams things was he did. Do you remember the show Inside the Actor Studio? Mm-hmm. So he did an episode of Inside the Actor Studio, and most of the time, Inside the Actor Studio was like an hour long. And for those that don't remember, this was a show hosted by this guy James Lipton at this place called the Actor Studio, where you have all these students who are learning to become actors. In fact, there's a famous episode. I forget who the actor is, but in the audience is Bradley Cooper as a young, like, up and coming actor. He asked a question. I want to say it was Robert De Niro or Al Pacino, one of those actors. So anyway, most of the time, Inside the Actor Studio was an hour long. When Robin Williams was on it, it was 2 hours long because he just would go off on these. He literally goes off on like exactly 20 minutes.
His brevity.
No. Well, the funniest thing, like the first 20 minutes, he just goes off on a riff, like it's a stand-up special. And he finally sits down, and James Lipton goes, "For my first question," and the audience just roars. And Robin Williams looks over, and Lipton's got a stack of notes like that big. And Williams goes, "Oh, it's going to be a long night." And I think I read somewhere later, because they record this and then they obviously edit it down. I think I read somewhere that they record like 4 hours of footage on this thing. Yeah, and there was a woman in the front row, and I don't know if this is like old wives' tale, like a myth or whatever,
Apocryphal.
apocryphal, but the laughed so hard she had a hernia and had to go to the hospital after the show because she laughed so hard she gave herself a hernia.
That almost happened to me in 8th grade when I saw Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
I remember that. That was another college classic.
Well, turn that on like where I was like, we were like the perfect age for that, like stupid.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Humor. It was like it like nailed it. I was like rolling in the aisle. I was laughing so hard I was like falling out of my chair in that movie.
For me, in college that would have been like, well, in high school that would have been like Austin Powers. Kind of fit that mold. I remember the second Austin Powers movie when Fat Bastard shows up. It was like, this is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then in college, it was like Anchorman was a big one.
Anchorman was great,
obviously.
Oh, when we saw Jackass 3 in theaters in college, that was like, we were like dying laughing at that too. Borat was another one. Borat was really good.
Borat. By the way, Borat made the top list. 100. Was on the list, which was surprising, but you know.
Did you see Bruno?
No, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So I loved Borat, and so like I told my uncle like about it, and so like I knew Bruno was coming. I was like, hey, let's go see Bruno. The Borat movie was really funny. It was great. Well, this is a very different character, and so
right.
Buddy, we got out of the movie theater. And I told him, I said, next time we'll just go to the Apache in Tyler. Which are you familiar with the Apache?
I've heard of the Apache. Yeah, I haven't been there, but I've heard of it. Yeah.
I told him, I was like, next time we'll just go to the Apache.
Yeah, go ahead.
I won't describe the scene.
I do want to mention a couple other movies. Speaking of Christopher Nolan, he was in the movie Insomnia. Do you remember Insomnia with Robin Williams and Al Pacino?
Stephen King?
I don't know if it was based on a.
I feel like we've had this conversation before.
We might have, but that was like his first. That was the first movie I remember Robin Williams being really serious in, because he plays like a serial killer, basically.
Did you see AI, Artificial Intelligence? No,
it's on my list.
No, not that one. No, I'm thinking. Sorry, Bicentennial Man.
Oh yeah, no, I had the DVD. I had the DVD.
Movie, I hated that movie. I got so bored in that.
Yeah, it wasn't one of his best. That's one that like. So there were a couple movies in college. The first time I saw, like, fell in love with, and then realized later, like, yeah, the same. That was one. Patch Adams was another one that I really. Speaking of Philip Seymour Hoffman, he was in Patch Adams also. Good Morning Vietnam was. I love that one. That one night. So after seeing Aladdin, after seeing Mrs. Doubtfire, I think my mom was like, "Oh, you need to watch Good Morning Vietnam," because he's great in that too. The Birdcage. Remember The Birdcage with him and Nathan Lane?
So this version of Insomnia was not. It's based on a novel, but it's based on a novel by Nicolaj Frobenius, who
it's easy for you to say.
I'm sure butchering that name because it's a Norwegian novelist and screenwriter.
He also, a movie that I actually saw. I only saw one time, and it was in high school. I took a psychology class in high school, and it's a movie called Awakenings. He plays a doctor. Robert De Niro is his patient, and Robert De Niro is like mute, and so it basically he's trying to help Robert De Niro speak again. That's a a different movie from what you normally expect from Robin Williams.
There was also the 1 Hour Photo movie, which was like
1 Hour Photo. That was
creepy.
That was. How about What Dreams May Come? Did you see that one? That's another one that
my wife loves that movie.
Yeah, him and Cuba Gooding Jr. The Fisher King, from the early '90s. I think he got an Oscar nominated. Or he got some Oscar buzz for that movie, maybe. He plays a homeless man. Jeff Bridges is this. He kind of forms a bond with Jeff Bridges, and then you find out like he's homeless, but he has kind of this tragic backstory of like how he got there. What else? He was Popeye.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
Yeah. Yep. I have you heard of this movie 9 Months?
Yeah.
So with Hugh Grant and is it Julianne Moore?
Yes.
I think so Robin Williams plays the doctor. He's the doctor responsible for helping deliver the baby, and he is off his rock. I mean, he's only in the movie for like 10, 20 minutes maybe, but he is just like peak Robin Williams insanity. Did
you ever see Jack?
I want to say I saw parts of it. It's by Francis Ford Coppola, directed it. The same guy who directed the Godfather. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Hang on,
that movie was depressing. I cried in the theater because I was a kid watching that movie and I was like losing it.
Yeah, because this is the one where it's like Benjamin Button, right? Or is it no?
It's kind of like the opposite. Like he grows like 4 times, and so like when he's like
he's like, right.
36, and so he's like, they're like, what do you want to be when you're an adult? And he's like, I want to be alive. And he's like,
it's Francis Ford Coppola directed it. Same guy who directed The Godfather, Godfather 2, Apocalypse Now. Jack.
You know what Izzy Mandelbaum's favorite Robin Williams movie is?
What's that?
2009 World's Greatest Dad.
There you go. the world's greatest dad. Yeah,
that's even better than number 1. Well, I'm not sure how official any of these rankings are.
Yeah, another stand-up special. If you want to check out, he did Live at the Met. This is from like the late '80s, I think. It was kind of one of his first big specials that he did. That was pretty fun. So I would recommend checking that out.
Oh, he was in he appeared in 2 episodes of Happy Days as Mork.
Right, because that was the spinoff. That was the spinoff. Mork and Mindy was a spinoff of Happy Days. Yeah, that's how he first kind of got his name out there. Did you ever see Happy Feet, the animated penguin?
No, movie? I had no interest in that.
Yeah. I think we've covered it all. We want to recap our picks real quick. Here, let me pull up mine. So I selected Dead Poets Society, Good Will Hunting, Mrs. Doubtfire, and then his live on Broadway special from 2002.
I went Aladdin, Jumanji, Flubber, and Whose Line Is It Anyway? I went very narrow with my demographic.
Yeah, you went all one word titles except for Whose Line Is It Anyway?
TV show, yep.
Yeah, except for the TV show. All right, buddy. So again, shout out to Robin Williams. I remember when he passed. When he passed, I remember he was the first like celebrity death that really got to me. Like it really because I can't really describe it. Like I knew even before it became official that he had committed suicide. I kind of knew that's what it was, just because having followed his career and following his struggles, I'll say, to that point. So rest in peace. I remember I was giving my my oldest daughter, who was I think 3 at the time. I think I was helping her get ready. I remember maybe my son, who was 2 at the time. Helping getting them ready for baths or whatnot. And my wife came into the bathroom and she had this real somber look on her face, and she said, "Robin Williams passed away." And I just remember stopping my tracks, like, oh man. And so it was yeah.
This also reminds me of the famous Peter King tweet. Do you
okay?
Are you familiar with this?
Remind me.
So he tweeted, Milwaukee, asked restaurant host, God, did you hear about Robin Williams? Host, no. Me, died. He killed himself. Thought he would cry.
Okay. Thanks, Pete.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great job there, buddy.
Yeah, it's kind of apropos that we're talking about him today on the day that we found out Ozzy Osbourne passed away, because I feel like those are similar deaths in that they had so many fans, right? I mean, say what you will about Ozzy Osbourne, he had fans all over the world. So did Rob Williams. So rest in peace to both. Hope they definitely left a legacy. I will say, both of them.
Yep.
But all right, so we're gonna end on that somber note. But next week, hopefully, we'll be back. Hopefully, we won't have another work stoppage next week.
Hopefully, I think we're past the worst of it.
Well,
by the way, our first episode came out on September 26th. So
there you go. So we got
2 months. 2 months away.
2 months away. So we'll be celebrating. I don't know what we'll do for our anniversary, but
I'll be working on my Daniel Plainview impression.
There you go.
So we'll have some really good material once the season starts. Well,
yeah. Speaking of which, so next week we'll do another normal episode. We'll probably catch up on training camps, see what's going on there.
Hopefully,
well, I guess we could.
Hopefully,
hopefully no
contract.
Yeah, hopefully Micah gets signed. Maybe Trey Hendrickson. Maybe that gets figured out. I guess we could talk about the Hall of Fame game, because the Hall of Fame will be that week. And then the following week we'll start our division previews. We hadn't really discussed this, but I don't know. Maybe we could talk about it offline. But do we want to do the division previews like both Easts, both Wests, both Norths the same, or do we want to?
I think that was the plan, right?
Okay, I didn't know if maybe we wanted to mix it up, or okay, but that's fine.
No, let's keep those cardinal directions together.
Keep those cards. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, so we'll start with that. I guess we'll do the East. I guess we'll go East, North. So with the East, North, Southwest.
Southwest.
Yeah, I think that's how when I set up our document, I think I set it up that way: East, North, Southwest. So,
hey, well, if the document's set up that way, we got to follow the document.
We'll do that. I think we'll have some more information. We'll save it for when we do the show, kind of lay out how we're going to do it. But we'll be back next week. Again, barring any work stoppage, we'll be here.
Yeah.
So
or until any water issues.
Any water issues, yeah. But until then, happy football, everyone.
Happy football.